This is Recently Rhonda, and it is part 5 of junior summer. Hopefully this will be the last one because it's taken me quite some time to finish this story. But at this point, you've met Steve, you've met Cody, you've met all my characters for this particular summer. I'm sure there was a few more people speckled in, but honestly, if I don't remember, it wasn't really memorable. So Lisa and I were at the Playhouse, and she came up for the weekend, and we're sitting there, and we had smoked a little bit, so we were acting silly. We had been out earlier that day, so we had a few drinks as well. And her and I are sitting there, we're laughing, and I'm telling her about Cody and, basically filling her in on what she'd missed when she was home. And since her and I were being silly and we were kind of high and drunk and whatever, we start... I'm sitting down, I'm writing stuff down because I used to write songs. That used to be what I was into until I realized they're garbage. So I stopped that. So I'm sitting down, I have a pen and a paper, we're listening to some music, and her and I are talking about what had happened earlier that week, and I was like, dude, a bunch of people were taking pictures of me and stuff like that. And I asked her, I said, who are those people that follow around celebrities and, take their picture? Because I could not think of it. And she's like, oh, dude, it's the Pazzatazis. And I was like, what? Oh, of course it's the Pazzatazzi. So her and I are laughing because we think we're right. So I'm writing it down. I'm like, everything that she's saying, I'm spelling it. So I'm like, how do you think you spell Pazzatazzi? So I literally spelled it, Pots, A, Tots, and a bunch of E's. And totally thought that was right. And we're sitting there, we're telling a story or whatever, and we're just joking and chit-chatting or whatever. So I'm starting to write down a bunch of things that she's saying. So I'd be like, Cody, I need to call him. So I spelled his name, C-O-O-D-D, and then 15 Y's. And then her and I were basically looking at this paper, and we were spelling a whole bunch of weird shit, and her and I knew exactly what we meant to say, so we're reading it off the paper, Pazzatazis and Cody, and just exactly how it was on the paper is how we were saying it, and we're just laughing. Well, she starts telling me a story, and how how her week went and stuff like that, and she's talking to me, and she's all messed up, and I keep making this face at her. Every time she would say something, I would wait a couple minutes, and I'd just be like, and I would keep that face while she was talking to me, cross-eyed, just weird look on my face, and she'd be like, stop messing with me. And then I would stop doing the face, and I'd be like, Lisa, what are you talking about? I'm not even doing anything. You're being weird. And then randomly I'd throw the face again. I'd be like, and sit there and hold that face. I was very committed to it. So, and she'd be like, stop it. She freaked out and stuff like that. That's my cat. She'd freak out and stuff like that. And I did it to her at least 100 times until she actually thought that my face naturally went like that. And she was just seeing things because she was so fucked up. I'm a mean friend, I know. But it's all for my personal enjoyment. So her and I did this back and forth for probably a good hour, killing moths and the whole nine and whatnot. So we definitely had a good time. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you something. But after that day, Cody and I went out again and had some dinner and stuff like that. And he had a 9-year-old roommate, which is kind of weird. So we would go back to his roommate's house after dinner, and he's like, I'm sick. I'm like, okay, I don't get it, but all right. So we go back to his place, and he's in the bathroom for an ungodly amount of time. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So I go to knock on the door, see if he's all right. Yeah, he wasn't sick, puking sick. He was shitting sick. And yeah, who doesn't close the door when A, you're going to the bathroom, and B, you know there's somebody over, and C, it's a chick that you're taking on a date? Never, ever again. Never again. I never went back there after that. There's some things that you just can't erase from your mind. That would be one of them. And it was hilarious and terrible all at the same time. I basically was like, okay, so can you take me home now?